Morning yogis, welcome to practice. Today is all about breath and flow, so you can start your day with a little bit more movement and a little bit more focus. You won't need anything besides yourself and your mat, so let's get started. So let's get started in a comfortable seat. Anything that works for you works for me. You can sit on your shins or cross-legged in Sukhasana like I am. Rest your hands in your lap and close your eyes if that feels okay. It's always nice to start your morning with a couple deep breaths. Just start to center yourself and arrive. Whether it was really easy to jump out of bed this morning or it was a little bit more of a struggle, Mondays tend to be that way. See if you can take just a few moments to drop your shoulders away from your ears. Put a little space between your back molars and soften the jaw as you settle into your body. Take a nice big deep breath in through the nose, filling up all the way. And then easy audible exhale. Good, one more like that. Full breath in. And full breath out. And we're going to take a few breaths here. Even amount of inhales, even amount of exhales. Start to find a little bit of balance in the breath. So with your inhale, start to breathe in for 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 3, 2, 1. And exhale, 3, 2, 1. 2 more like that. Breath in, 3, 2, 1. And out for 3, 2, 1. Inhaling, 3, 2, 1. And exhaling, 3, 2, 1. Starting to find a rhythm or a cadence to your breath for this morning. So whether it's a little faster or a little slower than me is totally fine. You just want to find a pace that works for you today, so that as we move and breathe through these sun salutations, you can find a rhythm that works for your body. It's all about getting out of your head and into your body. So the more that you can just breathe and flow, think less and feel more, the better this is going to go today. Good. One more breath in. And one more breath out. When you feel ready, you're going to slide your way into child's pose. So knees nice and wide, big toes come to touch, and then reach the arms out long in front of you and settle your hips back towards your heels. You can relax your belly, take a few breaths, and if the forehead makes its way all the way to the mat, rest there. Maybe massage the forehead a little side to side, massage out that little crinkle between the eyebrows. Or if it doesn't make its way all the way to the mat, you can bend at the elbows and use your forearms like a little bit of a pillow. Keep working the hips back towards the heels, and drop the belly and let it hang. 2 breaths. Starting to arrive in your body and just feel your way through things. Notice where things might feel stiff or free, anywhere in between. Start to take stock of your body and your breath this morning. And then stretch the arms back out long if they're not already, and both hands are going to wiggle all the way to the right. Maybe so much that your left hand even stacks on top of the right hand. Stay in the child's pose and keep reaching your left hip back towards your left heel. Big stretch through the whole left side of your body. So you get a little bit longer all the way from your left hip crease to your left armpit and way up to your left pinky finger. 2 big breaths here. See if you can breathe into your left lung in particular. Try to open up a set of gills on that side as you breathe more space between the ribs. Good. Start to walk the hands back through center and then over to the other side. So way over to the left, maybe even off your mat, and the right hand may even stack on top of the left. Big lateral stretch to the right side. Right hip pulls back towards your right heel. Sink the weight back and then reach further with your right hand. Try to stretch longer and taller through your whole right side. Get more space into your right lung. A little bit of breath into every little nook and cranny in between the ribs and the intercostals. 1 more breath. Good. Wiggle your hands all the way back to center. And then come up onto your shins into tabletop. So knees underneath your hips, wrists about underneath your shoulders. We're just going to start by warming up the wrists a little. So take a few circles, clockwise and counterclockwise. Take a look down at your hands and just see what they're doing, especially first thing in the morning. Start to notice where you're putting the weight. So a little bit more weight into the inner hand, into the base of the thumb. Maybe even gripping the mat with your fingers. Start to warm up the muscles in the hand all the way through the forearm. Go the opposite direction, a few circles. Good. And then back to center. And you're going to start, you take your right hand and flip it all the way backwards. So the fingers face back towards your knee. And if the fingers don't go quite that far, it's totally fine. You can go halfway, maybe a third of the way, but somewhere start to find a little bit of circumference as you turn it around. We're going to take our first cat-cow here. So left hand facing forward, right hand facing back. Use your inhale, pull the chest through, reach the collarbones wide, big sip of air. Good. On your exhale, press down, round your upper back. Belly button reaches back towards your spine, tuck your tailbone down towards the backs of your knees. Good. Continue with the breath. Inhale forward. Exhale, push the ground away, round the upper back. 2 more. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Good. Come back to center and switch the hands. So right hand back to neutral. Left hand turns around this time. So the thumb turns out. Fingers as far back towards your knees as it can comfortably go. Still warming up your wrists here, so don't feel like you have to go all the way. And then when you're ready, same thing. Use your inhale. Reach the collarbones forward. Broaden through the left collarbone in particular. Inhaling. Good. Exhale, push and round. Inhaling. Exhale. 2 more. Breath in. Peel the heart open. Maybe lift the chin. Exhale, push and round. Last one. Breath in. And breath out. Good. Spine comes back to neutral. Slide the hands back to normal. Wrists about underneath your shoulders and turn the hands out just slightly so you get more weight into the inner hand. Press down through the thumbs, through the heel of the hand, tuck your toes. Use the strength of your legs to start to pull the hips up and back, downward facing dog. It's the first downward facing dog of the day most likely. Usually a little bit itchy, a little bit fidgety, so bend one knee and then the other. Find some space. See if you can encourage more work into the legs. So bend your knees and pull the weight back out of your arms. And at the same time, push the mat away. See if you can get longer and taller through the spine. Relax your head, your gaze back down towards your big toes. Big breath in. Through the nose, breath out. Good. Lift your heels and bend your knees. And start to roll all the way forward, 1 vertebra at a time, until your shoulders reach over your wrists. High plank. Good. Just for a breath. Finish off that inhale, and then exhale, pull everything back. Strength of the legs to roll you back. 1 more. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Wave forward, high plank. Start to bear the weight in your arms, your shoulders. Strength of the legs to help support you as you finish your inhale, and then exhale, peel it back. Good. From your downward facing dog this time, keep the weight in your hands and start to tiptoe your feet all the way up to the top of the mat. You can bend your knees along the way. Wiggle your feet about hip-width distance apart. Put a nice big generous bend in your knees and relax. Let the upper body cascade down. Good. Release the arms. Plant down firmly through all 4 corners of the feet. Press down through the legs and start to roll all the way up to standing, 1 vertebra at a time. Your head comes up very last. Reach the arms all the way up. Big breath in, Urdhva Hastasana. Maybe the palms touch at the top. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Take a moment to find your breath. We're going to start to move through a few rounds of sun salutations. And that means long, slow breath, 1 breath per movement. When you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, fold forward, hinge at the hips, bend your knees on the way down. Good. On your inhale, you're going to step your right foot to the back of the mat. Keep inhaling, drop the right knee and pull the chest through, low lunge. Fingertips stay on the earth for this one. Good. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. With your inhale, roll forward, knees to the earth, tabletop. And exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Untuck the toes, use your inhale, rise up, maybe a baby cobra for this first one. Breath in. Good. On your exhale, downward facing dog, pull the hips up and back. Inhale, right foot steps forward to the right thumb. Drop your left knee, pull the heart through, keep inhaling, so long breaths. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, top of the mat. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms to the sky, maybe look up. And exhale, fold back down. Inhale, left foot steps back this time. Fingertips stay on the earth, reach the chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll forward, tabletop, so drop the knees. Exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Inhale, cobra pose, lift the chest broad and the collarbones, big sip. And all the way back with your exhale, downward facing dog. Use the strength of the belly and the legs. Good, left foot steps forward, breath in. So long breath, full inhale all the way to the top of that low lunge. And then exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good, one more like that. With your breath, inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot steps back. Low lunge, fingertips on the earth. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolls you forward, tabletop. Exhale, lower to the earth. Inhale, cobra pose, maybe a little higher, press the tops of the feet down. And exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward, take a breath in. Low lunge, reach out. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, strong legs as you reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, sweep all the way back down, forward fold. Step your left foot back, inhale, low lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale takes you forward, tabletop. Exhale with control, lower all the way to the belly. Inhale, cobra pose, one breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps forward, low lunge, breath in. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, strong legs, hands to the sky, and exhale, hands to heart center. Take a full breath in, and take a full breath out. Good, with your inhale, bend your knees, sit your hips low, one breath, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana this time. Exhale, plant the palms, and step back, high plank. So your knees can always drop. You can take this to tabletop if that sounds better, but from your high plank, look forward, breath in. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot to the top of the mat. Left toes on the earth and rise up, crescent lunge, one breath. So fingertips to the sky, big inhale all the way to the top. And exhale, hands to the mat. Vinyasa, so right to your high plank, exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And all the way back, downward facing dog. Right away, second side. Left foot to the top of the mat. Rise up, crescent lunge. So right heel stays lifted. Big breath in, reach tall. And exhale, hands to the earth. Keep exhaling all the way through the bottom of your chaturanga. Then inhale, upward facing dog. And all the way back, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, give yourself 5 good breaths. Keep pressing the ground away. Put more strength into the legs and pull the weight back. 2 more breaths. Good, keep those arms nice and strong. Look forward, look where you're going. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and step or float feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. On your inhale, sit the hips low. Utkatasana, chair pose, one breath. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good, one more round just like that. Sit the hips low, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, lengthen it forward. Plant the palms, high plank and lower right to your chaturanga, right through your vinyasa. Downward facing dog, exhale, and then quick transition. Right foot to the top of the mat, crescent lunge. Rise up, one breath to get all the way to the top. And then exhale all the way to the bottom of your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And all the way back, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, one breath. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the earth. Through your vinyasa. And downward facing dog, 5 breaths is where you land. Give yourself a few breaths here to relax your gaze back towards your big toes. Keep that strength in your arms. Press the ground away. 2 more breaths. Good, shift your gaze forward, lift your heels, bend your knees, step or float, top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Last one, inhale, chair pose, reach the arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good, take a full breath in. And through the nose, full breath out. Good, couple rounds of Surya Namaskar A here. So when you're ready, inhale, reach up. Keep the breath and the movement going. Find the pace that works for you. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms right through your vinyasa. So whether you're doing the same vinyasa as me, chaturanga and up dog, or something a little different, it's totally fine. It's all about finding a ritual, something to sort of clear the slate between the rounds. From your downward facing dog, 5 breaths together. Inhaling. And exhaling for 1. For 2. 3. 4. Good, on 5, lift your heels, bend your knees, step or float, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Strong legs, rise all the way up. Fingertips to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale, hands to heart center. 1 more round, just like that. Reach the arms up, sweep them up to the sky. Inhale, exhale, fold, hinge at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your palms, step or hop back through your vinyasa. 1 breath per movement, chaturanga. Inhaling through your back bend, and all the way back, downward facing dog. 5 more breaths together here, inhaling. And exhaling for 1. Inhaling and exhaling for 2. For 3. For 4. Good, and 5. Lift your heels, bend your knees, step or float, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand, fingertips to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment, Samasthiti, find your balance. Slide your shoulders down your back. 1 more breath in through the nose. And then open the mouth, easy exhale. Good, sweep the arms up, breath in. And exhale, fold forward. Start to slow the movements down. Inhale, halfway lift, and just linger a little bit. Keep the weight in your legs, maybe bend in your knees. Reach the chest out forward. And then exhale, plant the palms. And step the feet back, right to downward facing dog. From your down dog, drop your knees to the earth. Split them out wide and sit the hips back, child's pose, just like how we started. From your child's, instead of keeping both arms forward this time, you're going to keep your right arm where it is. Thread your left arm underneath your right armpit like you're threading a needle. Reach it all the way across. You can drop your left ear to the mat. Settle the hips back. Now, if child's pose isn't particularly comfortable for you, which is very fair, you can also take this upright. So if you want to sit on your shins, you feel better there. You're just going to cross your left arm over your body and give it a little tug so you get the same stretch across your left shoulder. Either one is totally fine. 2 breaths. Good. If you're in child's pose, walk your fingertips back to the forward, and then you're going to thread the other direction. So right arm underneath the left armpit, turn your gaze to the left, maybe your right ear to the mat. And if you're coming upright, same thing. Your right arm comes across your body, left arm just sort of cinches it right in. 2 more breaths. Good. From child's pose, walk your hands back to center. And start to walk your way all the way upright until you're sitting on your shins, right on your heels, Vajrasana. From this seated place, you can stay right where you are. This might be plenty. It can be a lot to sit on the shins here, so you might stay there. If you want a little more for the front of the hips, you're going to walk your fingertips back behind you. Press the shins, press all 10 toes down, and just lift the hips an inch or 2 or 3 off of your heels. Open up the front body. You can reach the head and the neck back if it feels okay. And start to lean back, breathe all the way down from your collarbones to the front of your hips, to the front of your knees. And stay here for 2 breaths. Use a little strength from the glutes to lift the hips a tiny bit higher. One more inhale. Good, and exhale, settle it down. Good, come all the way back forward and slide your legs around. Cross the shins in front, Sukhasana. So you can stay with Sukhasana, which is kind of just like a fancy cross-legged seat, like crisscross applesauce. Or if you've got more space in your body and you want to go further, you can stack your right shin on top of your left and come into double pigeon. But if that doesn't feel so hot first thing in the morning, by all means, stay with Sukhasana. From this double pigeon, either right shin in front or right shin on top. You're going to reach your right arm out to the side, left arm up to the sky, big stretch through the left side, lean over into the right hand. You can keep some buoyancy in that right arm. And stretch through the left side. Keep anchoring your left hip down as if there was an imaginary sandbag on it, so that you've got more stretch and traction. Good, keep that weight in your hips and your sit bones and start to walk the hands over to the right, folding over the legs. And then keep circling and walk the hands right up the middle, forward folding. So remembering you don't have to go to your deepest place. You can stay upright and find the same thing here. Stay on your fingertips or with your hands on your thighs. But just start to find that circular motion from the right all the way through the center. And then we're going to keep going and walk to the left. And then further to the left, plant your left hand and reach your right arm over the top, big stretch into the right side. Good, and back up. We're just going to switch the cross. So left shin comes in front, or if you're going into double pigeon, left shin comes on top. Resist the urge to use your hands to pull that leg on top. If that's the case, and maybe stick with Sukhasana today. But if you can do it without your hands, then go ahead and go for double pigeon. And we're going to start on the right side again. So you're going to reach your right arm over, big stretch through the left side. Same thing, come back to opening up that set of gills in between each and every rib on the left side. Breathe a little deeper and fill up every little bit of your left lung. Good, sink the left hip crease down. And keep that action happening, that anchoring through the left side, and start to walk your hands both to the earth, over to the right. So whether it's fingertips or whole hand, doesn't matter. Just imagine you're stretching your spine out longer and longer. So as you walk those fingertips forward, collarbones reach out towards your hands, and at the same time, reach your sit bone and your tailbone back the other direction. Good, start to circle and walk the hands forward. Maybe folding and bowing all the way down if that space is there this morning. And then walk the hands all the way to the left, starting to complete the circle. This time anchoring your right hip down to the mat. More space through the right lung, the right low back, and all the way into the right palm. Good. Last bit, left hand to the earth. Reach your right arm all the way overhead. Breathe a little extra space into the right side. Big lateral stretch. Yeah, then a little bit of core strength to bring you all the way back upright. Good. Uncross the legs and find any seat that's comfortable for you. So whether that's on your shins, or whether it's on a block or a blanket or on a seat, find somewhere that you can be relatively still and find some ease. I like to rest my hands on my thighs or even one hand in the other on my lap. Try to stack your ears on top of your shoulders and your shoulders on top of your hips. Slow the breath way down. And maybe flutter the eyes closed if that feels okay. And if closing the eyes doesn't feel okay, you can always find a steady drishti, so right on the tip of your nose or something out in front of you, but just somewhere to place your gaze and draw your focus. Take a full breath in. And an easy breath out. Start to draw your awareness into the feeling of the breath. And settle all that movement down. And see if you can focus that energy right down the middle. Right into that central channel. And shift away from that thinking self. There'll be plenty of time for that later today. And stick with feeling. So notice the sensation of the air coming in through the nostrils. Draw the breath way up towards the third eye, all the way down the spine, into the pit of your belly and into the pelvic bowl. And tracing the inhales and tracing the exhales. And give yourself 1 full minute to just follow the breath. Take the energy and the movement and channel it into focus, channel it into breath. Surrender to the flow of the breath rather than the flow of the body. And stick with it. Following your inhales and your exhales. Maybe slowing them down even more, a little pause between. And visualizing the sip in and an easy seep out of the breath. Couple more here. Last 2 breaths. Slide your palms together at heart center. And if you have the time today, I encourage you to lie back and take a Shavasana. If this is where your practice ends, maybe sit for just 30 more seconds. Settle in. Know that there may be plenty of things today that you don't have the opportunity to surrender to. So when you can, with your practice, drop into the breath and the movement. Give yourself away to it. Last breath in together. Open the mouth, let it go. And the light in the teacher in me salutes the light in the teacher in each of you. Namaste.